guys, so this is one of those kind of videos where those who are in the know will understand what I'm referencing, everyone else will be so confused they will probably just click out of this altogether. So, if you're in that second camp, don't feel bad. If the title makes no sense, you may as well just click out now. It's irrelevant probably to you, but anyway. So I finally died on the Rachel's Ghost TV show. And I feel like I need to make this video because I've heard so many different conflicting versions of what happened that aren't even what happened. So I'm like, alright, let me just put this out there because I know Rachel's trying to tell people this, but people seem to have their own agendas here and want to tell a different tale. So I'm here to also tell it, alright? And maybe give a little bit more backstory and context, hopefully, since I think there's a lot of people who want to make this a lot more dramatic than it actually was for my departure from there. And who knows, maybe one day she'll allow me back over there eventually, but for right now, it needed to happen. But we'll see what the future holds. And yes, I know there's especially one user in particular who's gonna go, hey, I told you so, I told you to stay far the fuck away from that place, and I said that, well, I'm gonna see for myself, so... Yes, Paul, you were right. No, I'm not talking psycho splatters. Anyway, so, for this tale, to set the scene, I have to premise this saying that this brings us all the way back to last year around this time with that whole drama that we will not rehash, because that was essentially the linchpin that led me over there in the first place. Because, okay, sorry, I have to close this because it's distracting. So, the only reason I mentioned that is because technically the first thing that led me to ever go over there was that one night in the middle of that whole drama where I think it was Dave the Pickup Artist came in my chat and was like, hey, do you ever go on the Rachel's Ghost TV show? And I had never been over there, had never seen it. I only knew of what the reputation in the VC is for that channel. So I snarkily said something along the lines of, no, why the hell would I watch that garbage? And I, kept cruising just on whatever I'd been talking about before that. Hadn't given it a second thought, because it wasn't something that was even relevant to me. It was like, I wasn't even sure why I'm being asked this. Apparently, he must have then linked her to that. She didn't even know who the hell I was. Didn't know I existed till that moment. Was like, whoa, what the hell? And she had even compared it on her show the next day to watching a train wreck going down, and then suddenly a stray wheel goes flying off and hits you. It's like, what the hell? Whoa, what the fuck was that? I understand. Trust me, I do. And then I felt really bad that apparently she saw that, because I didn't even mean to, shade somebody that I don't watch, therefore how would I even actually know what goes down over there? Again, all I knew was the reputation of that place, and that was why I at that point, had never gone over there. And again, this is not going to be a hit piece. I'm not here to talk smack about Rachel, her channel, anything else. This isn't like that. I'm just setting the scene for what led me there in the first place, and then how it played out. So just hang with me here. So later on, I kind of just left it alone because I was like, oh, okay, I know it is, bad to be on her bad side. I want to apologize, but maybe I should let the dust settle first. So I kind of forgot about it for a while. Then the initial drama of what had, last year, had died out, and everything was fine again, until it wasn't, and one of the last things that was said at that point was, I think you just want to be on the channel for eyeballs on you. If that's what you want, why don't you go over to Rachel's Ghost? She gets way more viewers on her show. And I think I kind of impudently was like, fine, I will. And it was like, because it was just... It's that immature shit. I know. So, at that point, again, I didn't know anything about her show at that point. At all. So, I was like, well, I could do that. But I feel like I owe her an apology first. So I type out this long, heartfelt, genuine apology in her comments. And she wrote back to it fairly quickly, accepted my apology, and invited me up on her show the next day. Now, I wasn't sure how exactly that was gonna go. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be raked over the coals and this was kind of just like a lull you into a false sense of security kind of thing, or if this was genuine. So I kind of went in cautiously, because I wasn't sure how this was gonna go. it's YouTube. Anything can go any direction at any point, you know, like, acute awareness, just saying. So I went in cautiously. She had me tell exactly what had gone down there, give the same context I gave to her, offered again my apology, which she was fine with, and then she invited me to, like, hang around for the rest of the show. So I did, and it was fine, and then they, like, extended the offer. If I wanted to come back the next day, I could, and I did, and I think I did that for a few days in a row, and I kind of, like, bowed out for a bit. Didn't really think anything of it. I wasn't used to sitting through 3-hour live streams every morning, so for me it kind of felt like a lot initially. So I dipped for like a month or so, and then I came back one day. I guess there was like a thumbnail or a title or something that appealed to me, so I came back. I was commenting. They're like, "Whoa, where the hell have you been?" I was like, "Oh my god, they noticed my absence? I was only there a few times. This is kind of nice. Aw, why do people talk shit about this place? I don't understand." So I fell back in, and I literally stayed there every day. I think I was going up on screen about every day at that point. Up until probably June, I want to say, around the time of my sister's wedding, and then my mom's hospitalization a week later. It was a lot, so obviously I had to, like, drop back. I mean, I was still watching the shows, but I was just in the chat for a while dealing with the aftermath of all of that mess. So, there was that. But it did offer a sense of community that I wasn't finding elsewhere at that moment in time, and especially in that moment, I was really, like, clutching to it for dear life, because I didn't have anywhere else to really go. So, all of that died down. I was still there as a regular. I was getting increasingly comfier there, and I mean, it was nice having a place I could go that not only there was a sense of community, but also that it seemed like, by and large, a lot of people there liked me. I'm not used to that. I'm used to people finding me annoying, and, you know, they can take so much of me, and then they don't really want more of that. I understand. Trust me, I do. I'm not unaware of the fact that I have an annoying fucking voice. I'm not unaware of the fact that I'm autistic in the way that I, like, hyper-focus on certain things. I get it. It's a lot for some people. I get that. I get that I'm not for everyone. I get that there's other people who freaking love me. There's, like, no in-between gray ground, but I think that's pretty normal, though, for most people, that, like, people either really like you or they really don't like you. It kind of is just the nature of the beast. This isn't even just a YouTube thing. That's just a life thing. So, I mean, I never took that too personally or anything, but it was nice seeing people actually enjoy my presence for a change, because after that fallout of last year, I did not feel very welcome a lot of places. So that was really nice. For a long time, actually. And it wasn't until over the summer where there was, I'm not gonna name names because I refuse to platform them, but there was that certain asshole who sent me a list of a dozen ways they felt I should unalive myself, like very personalized, targeted, attack-like ways that they clearly sat and thought out, and that disturbed the shit out of me so bad that it did, in fact, trigger off a mental health episode that landed me in the hospital for a bit. So those who are over there, who are like Patreon members, knew about that. I think a small handful knew about it here because I did mention it in a live stream, but other than that, it went largely under the radar, and that was how I wanted it kept. However, because I was open about that over there, certain people decided to start weaponizing my mental health against me, which I should have seen coming, should have predicted it, but it was one of those things where you're like a daily interactor with this thing, and suddenly you're gone for like a week and a half. People have questions. And I figured honesty's the best policy, so I'm just gonna, take me as I am or leave me. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the fact of this is how I am. It is what it is. I can't help that I'm bipolar. I do the best I can with it, but, sometimes that does spiral out into having unaliving episodes, So, I mean, that was a whole ass thing, and I made no secret of that, and most people were very supportive and offered, if I needed somebody to talk to, reach out. It was, for the most part, a very positive thing, actually being open about that, except for one user in particular that really started, like, laser focused on me at that point, and everything out of my mouth would jump on and harass me for, and some people are like, no, that's just his shtick, he likes you. I'm like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You can tell the difference between shtick and when someone genuinely doesn't like you and they're attacking you. This was the latter, big time. So, I mean, the easiest thing to do would be to block somebody, which I did at one point do, but I got guilt-tripped into unblocking them, and things went from bad to worse with this person. And it only escalated further because they have some hate boner for other streams that I go on as well. Don't even know what their beef is there, but they, for whatever reason, have one. And they just started hammering down more and more, not just on me, but on all of their names. And while I'm not very liable to defend myself, usually, okay, you don't like me, I don't give a shit. You fuck with my friends, though. And that's when the mama bear thing comes out, and I get very protective. And that is when I go on the defensive, is when you go after my friends. And that was the beginning of the end. I could feel the shift happening. I mean, I think around the time that there was the whole thing with that documentary for that channel, I noticed a shift in general, both between which people are being asked to be part of it versus which ones aren't. Just something changed at that point in time. There were sanctions put in place on certain users to only come up a certain number of days a week, like, things that would make their show look better. And again, I'm not criticizing them for that. They have a show to run. I get that they have to care about ratings over friendships. I get it. Trust me, I get it. It's fine. I'm not mad about it. I'm not salty about it, even though I'm sure people are going to take it out of context and make it seem like I am. I'm genuinely not. I understood what it was, but I was, like, really going to bat for my friends that it felt like were being unfairly targeted in this. Which, in turn, made me more of a target. Made me look like a difficult woman, because this is how patriarchal bullshit always goes down, right? So, either a difficult woman, a hysterical woman, this, that, the other. If it were a guy saying this, nobody would give it a second thought, but because I'm a woman, it's treated differently. And it's shitty that we live in a world that that's true, but it is what it is. That's unfortunately just part of being female. You get used to that crap. It doesn't make you any less sick of it, but you spot it a mile away when it starts happening, and you can sense somebody's about to bring the hammer down. You can feel it in the wind of change, right? So, I could tell that this is gonna be a limited thing. I can tell the end of the road is approaching. And even on the Patreon side of things, there was a comment made about, I don't know how sustainable it is to keep BeatleBabe around. And that was the day I knew, shit. Okay, they're looking for a way to get rid of me. I was already internally processing it and just waiting for at what point it would happen from there forward. Around the time of the election, things hit a fever pitch with the one person. It got real ugly, it got really immature on my end. We don't need to rehash all of that, frankly, but it was stupid. It got blown out of proportion, but with that being a thing, it did not have me in a very great light, even though everyone who knew the situation was like, that was basically a non-issue. Like, it was a stupid thing, but it wasn't that big of a fucking deal. It did not need this much drama built up around it, and I agree. But because there was people threatening to pull their donations from Patreon and stuff, I get that, yeah, the person who's the cause of this has to be the one to go. Now, they will maintain this isn't the reason that I had to leave. I will give them credit for that, but I think it was greasing the tracks in that direction, though, at that point. And this is when more people started getting vocal that they didn't like me, and that's fine. Again, that's life. Not everybody's gonna like everybody. But, I mean, if you try to just walk a tightrope and try to make everybody like you all the time, you're only gonna sacrifice yourself in the process. So, you be you. The people who are gonna like you will like you. The people who aren't gonna like you aren't gonna like you, and that's fine. Let it land where it lands. So, fine. I was doing that and kept carrying on, just doing my own thing, just existing. And apparently my existing bothered people to the point where eventually two trolls saw this as a moment of vulnerability to exploit. And they did it in a really shitty way, because, I mean, they were speaking nonsense and everything, too. They still do, and I'm not going to name them, because I refuse to platform them. So, they showed up, wreaked hell, got themselves banned, but it was like, I could see them weighing the dividends of, what are we gaining from keeping her here, versus look at all of the drama that comes here because of her. I get it. I do, and that is why at that point, because of how much, and just how heavy-hitting they were going with this shit, I was like, you know, I get it. If it's better for me to walk away, I can do that quietly. And they very quickly were like, we're gonna take you up on that offer. And it's like, okay. That's why I'm like, I'm not mad at them. I have no animosity towards them, no negativity towards them. I'm very grateful for everything that they did do for me. Incredibly grateful. And I'm not going to tell anybody to not watch them. Like, by all means, like, they're the best at what they do in terms of, like, the morning live streams and stuff. Like, nothing but mad respect there. And they have, like, a great community of people there and stuff. It's just unfortunate that I don't get to be a part of it anymore, but it is what it is. They have to do what they have to do for ratings and for what they feel is best for their show. And I guess what's best for their show isn't me. So, it's fine. There is a lot more people who were upset at my leaving than people that wanted to see me leave, though I will say that, so that's a little bit validating, but the whole thing's just unfortunate. And now, unfortunately, because of that, those two individuals feel like they got this massive win, but it's like, they tried to paint it as, I fled. I didn't flee. I didn't want more people being drawn into this shit. That they have no reason to be dealing with this stress and this drama. They're not a part of it. They shouldn't be dragged into it. Stop it. Most places, they wouldn't have tolerated this much nonsense from them in the first place. They would have lasted about 5 seconds, gotten booted, and that would have been that. But Rachel wanted to hear them out for whatever reason. Yeah, that was a mistake, but again, it's not my channel, it's not my circus, it's not my monkeys. It is what it is. I mean, at least they're banned there too, so I mean, I can't go there, but neither can they. So, it's just unfortunate. But I know I've had a ton of people asking, oh my god, why'd you leave? It's like, well, this. Really, because I was trying to make things easier for them. They don't need the stress. They're up there in years. Plus, I mean, they're trying to, like, start the keto diet. I get it. Like, this was, like, the worst possible timing to, like, strike someone with this. This was why I was trying to have as much compassion as possible and be like, if it would make it easier, I'll step back. Because here's the thing. The day before my exit, I saw the comment thread under that day's stream. And there was people talking about me trying to make their own observations as an outsider looking in. Some valid, some not. I responded with my thoughts on that. I was like, okay, if you're gonna say that, at least be fair, because da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Here's what you're right about. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But Rachel was also replying to these, and I could tell by the way she was replying that had I not offered to step down on my own, she was about to make the decision for me. So I was like, well, I can tell that the outcome is going to be the same either way, so I'd rather do this with a little dignity intact. That's why I stepped down. Not because I wanted to leave. Trust me, I would quite love to still be able to interact with all of those people. Thankfully, most of the ones on panel that I'm gonna miss the most go to other streams that I can probably go to and be fine going to just fine and still interact with them there. There's a couple that were solely in the peanut gallery that I don't think ever went up. I'm gonna miss them. Maybe they'll pop up elsewhere and I can still interact with them there and maybe like get some kind of like socials link to be able to still chat and stuff, but it's just unfortunate, but it's the nature of the beast, and it's YouTube. I mean, how much is really permanent when it comes to YouTube? Not a lot. So I mean, I knew going in, on the first time going in there, don't get too comfortable because most people don't last long term at this particular channel. So I think I forever had like this sense of trepidation when it came to that channel and never fully let myself relax from day one. I always had that feeling of cautiousness because it's like, Yeah, everything's fine right this moment, but how long will that last? When I first went in against better judgment of people warning me against going over there, they kind of had a betting pool going on of how long I would last. I outlasted all of them because the longest anyone expected me to survive on that channel was 3 weeks. So, I think I started going there in, April? And I lasted till late November. That's a pretty good run. That's a pretty good run. But, again, I have no negativity towards Rachel or Sue or their channel or anything like that. None at all. I'm very grateful for what they did. I'm very grateful for them letting me hang out there as long as they did. And again, there's silver linings to everything. It's all in how you frame things. So, sure, I'm losing a sense of community there, but what am I gaining in its place? 3 hours of time back every morning now that I can invest into my own channel that I've been neglecting most of the time that I've been going there, because those were often the hours that I would record within and edit and upload, was usually the morning hours. By the time her show's over, I was already I'm kind of interneted out right now. I kind of want to just go do something else. So I'm sure you guys who've been long-term viewers of my channel have noticed this year has probably been about the quietest upload year in many years for this channel. And that was kind of like a 1-2 punch of last year. I kind of felt like I lost my creator mojo, if that makes sense, for various reasons. And then this year, I just never really hit the ground running at any point. I tried and would sputter and restart and fall down again. I was never able to freaking get back into my old schedule of things for a myriad of reasons, but it pretty much started at the start of the year and coasted. So that's fine. If nothing else, it gave me a little bit of a vacay after nearly 19 years of running this to reinvigorate and apparently regain my mojo, because now all of a sudden I realized, as I was starting to brainstorm ideas for stuff that I'm gonna record now I have all this time opened up, oh my god, I actually feel creative again. I actually have ideas again. I can't remember the last time I had that, because I think a lot of people could tell last year I was uploading, sure, but a lot of times it felt like I was phoning it in. It felt like my heart wasn't fully in it, and I was kind of just grinding, waiting for it to come back. Because I know that it's always temporary. There's always going to be slumps with creatives, okay? I'm sure any artist of any genre will tell you that, yeah, you get into slumps where you just don't feel inspired no matter what you do, and it's not your fault, it just happens. But just wait it out, and eventually you'll come back. And that is very, very true of literally anything. Just wait it out, it comes back. We're there. We're there. So, yeah, certain trolls may have gotten one win of me not going over there, but they're not having the win of me not being around. Oh no, not by a long shot. 'Cause let us not forget, I used to be the girl that uploaded bare minimum of 3 videos a day, sometimes as many as 7 or 8 in a day. Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to be restarting that very shortly. So there's going to be lots of content going up. So for those of you who've been patient with me through all of this, I know you have missed my normal content. It's a Christmas miracle. I'm back. I'm back. So there's that. There's that big silver lining right there. Because not only do I have the 3 hours every morning that have now opened up again, I additionally have, an additional 90 minutes opening up multiple times a week when the Patreons would happen, that now that's free time, too, to also invest into my channel. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Again, I will miss it. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. If they ever extended the offer for me to come back one day, I would gladly take it. But for right now, it's time to recalibrate and focus and really work on building up my channel. We're so close to hitting 8,000 subs, guys. I think we can do it possibly by the end of the year, if not by my birthday. And my birthday's only a week into the year. We're close. I think as of right now, I'm 97 away. Let me look. Unless that changed just since I started recording. It always fluctuates, right? They always go up and down. Oh, no, 96! 96 away! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! See, that's why I'm we can totally do this. So I'm excited for that. Those of you who have missed the karaoke streams, those are going to be coming back. I might do one today even. I might. You don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. But first I have to review Beetle 64 is what I need to do. But one of those will be coming. I still can't speak to the normal live streams yet, mostly not because of any lack of desire to do them. Like, I would gladly start doing my own damn morning show, but, no, that's not why I'm not doing those. It's because of the StreamYard pricing thing, and I haven't decided which alternative one I want to go to yet, so I still have my 20 free hours on StreamYard, and that's good. I could do, like, a couple karaoke streams a month out of that, but I can't really do much anything else with that. So, I mean, unless we're just gonna do solo Q&A stuff, hangouts, which, I mean, there's a handful of you that enjoy those, but apart from those, I can't do ones where I pull people up on screen if I want to be able to also do the other thing. And that's fine, because, I mean, I'm not going to stop going to other channels, like, obviously I still go to Joe Mayo's, I still go to Psycho's Platters, I still go to Raging Tomatoes, still go to a lot of other ones that I'm not going to name drop, because I don't want certain people following me over there and trying to cause hell, and it is like whack-a-mole with me. Every time you mess one up, I pop up at 3 others, so kind of can't defeat me, just saying. But, anyways, I'm not going to tip my hat, but it's one of those things where, yeah, sure, even if, God forbid, worst case scenario, if the whole VC turned on me, I'm in so many other communities that, good luck finding them all. Good luck. Like, you can't do it. Like, you would have to do absolutely nothing else with your life, consistently, and would have to know where you're looking, so, just saying. Just saying. I ain't too worried about it. But I am going to be focusing a lot more on balancing my own content, in addition to building up my friends' content by partaking in their streams. I'm not pulling back at all from theirs. If it sounds like that, I didn't mean it to. I just mean, with the time that's now opened up, I can finally start focusing on mine again. Because, yeah, I have neglected it. I have. I'm the first one to admit that. And I was even consciously aware of it at the time, but I was like, there's just not enough hours in the day to do it all. There's just not. It's like, I wish I were Superwoman and could manage it, but there's only so many plates I can keep spinning at a time. So, first things first, I have to get back on track with mine. Once I have that all settled, I can build outward from there, but I'm using this as it's the reinvigoration moment. One door closed, another door opened. Checks and balances, it's always fine, so it'll be alright. And again, I'm in no way bitter, upset, mad. I'm none of those things. Again, I'm just grateful for the time that I did have over there. I know that there was like some iffiness with, because I said I finally got the boot over there. That was just like a term of phrase more so than anything. But like literally the day after her announcing my exit, somebody had asked in her chat, so when's the ban on BB being lifted? She had said never, and somebody told me about that, which is why I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe it is a ban, I don't know. But then yesterday I got updated again that no, she claims I'm not banned, and I'm still wrenched, and this, that, and the other thing, so I don't effing know, guys. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I am the one that offered to walk away just to make shit easier. But let it be known that I could tell that if I hadn't, I know they were going to cut me loose in, like, very short order, it felt like, so. And that's fine, that's fine. No negativity there, just, it's being aware of being able to read between the lines and acting accordingly. I think I did that. I'd like to think I did that anyway. But yeah, like, trust me, you'll still see me plenty elsewhere, so it's, for the people over there that are sad that I'm not in her chat, don't worry, just, you know, reach out. I'll tell you where all else I go. You know, you can follow me. I don't mind. But anyway, I just wanted, for the sake of transparency, because I've been hearing a lot of different varying stories from people that have reached out and asking me, what the hell happened? I'm like, okay, let me just make this video and I can just link people to it. It'll probably be a hell of a lot easier than trying to type this whole thing out every time someone asks. So, but yeah, again, nothing but respect, appreciation, gratitude to the two of them and to their channel. I've got nothing bad to say about them. They weren't why I left. It felt like it was the thing to do. It was time. It was time. But that's alright, because onward and upward, plenty of other big things coming. It's all good.